back to the dance of evolving. If you are new to my channel, we are a community of souls who are continually growing and giving and overcoming to become our most sovereign selves. It's not the easiest journey some days, but the process is so rewarding, and it's so much better to have an awareness of our inner engineering. I thought about that this week. We have so many amazing engineers on this planet who help us, with just things that we use every day, and ourselves individually, we're in charge of our inner engineering, engineering our inner sanctuary, our heart's most inner light. And so that's what this channel is about. And today's content hopefully will help you do so. Last week we talked about cultivating unconditional love within. And as I was looking over the content that I released, I would like to clarify a little bit more on how to actually shift your vibrations to practicing and believing that you can cultivate and have that unconditional love within yourself, because the amount of love that you have within, truly, without the external needs of anyone else to fulfill things within you, is that love is what you're able to give others. So it keeps us from forming relationships out of need and trauma bonding, and it actually, this is how to truly live a fulfilled and joyful life. So today I want to talk, and I'm actually going to be talking about relationships and how this really does affect relationships in a major, major way. So I want to start here by just really thinking about the power of one thought and how it can gain momentum, how it can change our day, and subconsciously take over our entire state of being. I listen to Joe Dispenza a lot. I love how scientific he is, and also how his work is backed up a lot by research. And so I'm going to be saying a few things that I've learned from him, and then from various other people, and then of course my own experiences as well, and some friends who I've been speaking to this month. But we want to ultimately today, after this content, to be able to trade the whole survival mode for an elevated emotion each day, and thoughts that fire together, wire together, and we want to be able to make a practice and a habit of actually practicing living in these vibrational states, where then we actually send out a magnetic field and draw what we truly want in our lives to us. So it's a skill to move out of survival mode, and the feeling that we practice most of the time is where we're going to reside. And as I said earlier, one thought can truly change everything. And so the stronger the emotion that you're feeling, the more altered your state of being is going to be. Here's what's kind of crazy, and then the more attention we're actually gonna place on the cause of that emotion. And it can cause our bodies and our minds and our emotions, and then unfortunately our hearts and our souls, to reside subconsciously in the past, and almost like a familiar prison that we are afraid to get out of, or we just don't know how to get out of. And I'm going to be giving some examples here. So like the thought of one event, you can have just a thought of one event that you're kind of having a very hard time getting over. It can produce an emotion that is so strong that the body doesn't even know the difference between, like, your actual body, the way your physical state is responding. It won't know the difference between the actual event that happened in the past and if it's happening right now. So a lot of times we are replaying events and emotions and in victim mode in our mind, and we are gaining momentum. Think about a vibrational disc, a disc that keeps spinning. And the more that we stay with these thoughts, these lower vibrational thoughts, and the emotions that come with them, and replaying what has been done to us or stories that we've written, we are actually changing our entire body. And our body will not know the difference, and it will go into survival mode. So like, for example, if you think of an ex that like will just get you all off, and you're having a good day, And then all of a sudden you think of this X and it's like, oh, your blood pressure goes up, or you start breathing heavy, or you start to feel tense. That's an example. Or say you get angry every time you're at your new job, but you think about your last job screwing you over, or a friend who did you wrong, and then it affects how you treat everyone else in the future. You project all of this on other people, and then also you're in this lower state of vibration that's actually keeping you from feeling pure joy and happy. The unfortunate thing about this is that when we remain in this state of being, it consumes the energy in our heart and the energy in our mind and our body, and the energy we need for growth, repair, for the ability and the space to have that state of flow and create. And instead, we're in survival mode, and emotionally and mentally, we're in the run and hide mode. So we're not open. Our heart is not open. This is a subconscious program that a lot of us are in, and it affects a lot of relationships that we're in as well. And the body goes into a condition of resentment, of unhappiness and fear, and therefore cannot truly, cultivate and captivate in the present moment, like the true joy of life and what true love feels like within, without the need of somebody making you feel loved. But being in love with life is what I'm talking about. And I'm still on this journey, but man, when you feel that, it's like, this is what it's all about. So I think what I'm trying to, it's almost like when you open love to your heart, this is the first step, guys. So step one, if you want to start cultivating unconditional love within, have an intention to open love into your heart. And at first you might think, well, yeah, right, because you want to protect this state of survival. But the long-term effects, guys, of you being in the familiar space is you push your genetic buttons. And what I mean by that is, like, it causes sickness over time. It causes disease. I know for me, I ended up having, like, my digestion was not right certain years. And I've even found that I can sense when I am on a lower vibrational disc and I am not in line with myself. I get tense, I get headaches, I have digestive problems, I feel lethargic, and this is my body telling me that my heart is not open. And guys, there's real scientific stuff about your heart and the energy that you give off, and I'm gonna get into that soon. But it's absolutely outstanding, the power that you have to change is actually what I'm very excited about. So the body actually becomes the mind emotionally. And unfortunately this happens, and it causes a lot of diseases, and it's living in the past. Our mind is living in the past, then therefore the emotion is tied to the past. Our body's living in the past emotionally because it's subconsciously reacting to what our mind is doing, and we are choosing to do that. And having an awareness that we are separate from our mind, that we can objectively observe what we're doing, and we have the power to shift these patterns each day. And so this actually takes an intentional of, you have energy stored in your body that has been unhealthy for you. It has been living in fear, resentment, worry, insecurity, all stemmed from things in the past, and then your body and your mind reacting from those emotions in the past. You have to be able to step into the unknown with your emotions, and because you have to leave your unhappiness and leave all of that to step into what you haven't felt in a long time. If you've been harboring in the past, if you've been so focused on the past, you actually have to get used to feeling what you haven't felt. And meaning stepping out of your states of survival, because we are not meant to be in survival mode. These altered states that we choose to live in, they knock our bodies, our mind and our body completely out of balance. It's almost like having the brakes and the gas down at the same time in a car. And it's like our heart doesn't know what to do, and then therefore our immune system and everything gets way off. So you have to think, okay, say, I want love in this life, and creating it with your brain and your mind, and that's a start. But here's the thing where I kind of came against some conflict with me, where I was like, okay, I can say this, but and I can say I want all these things in my life, but if you don't feel, okay, I think I could say, okay, I'm open to love, but then I'm still clinging on to the past. So noticing when I'm doing that, and then also thinking, okay, well, these are the things that I want in my life. Well, once I feel like I'm lined up, like I get my values straight, and I think about my intentions each day, and I want to leave things in the past, and I'm just going to work toward this each day. Well, and you know, as triggers come up, I know that they're gifts that I can work through. Well, if I'm actually creating ideas and desires with my brain and my mind, I'm actually not going to be able to attract this to me until I'm able to cultivate the feeling of these emotions of what I want in the future. So, for example, if we want, you know, a certain type of career in the future, or we want certain types of relationships, or just, you know, a way that we're living, we think about, what are we truly desiring? How will I feel when I'm in that state of being, you know, in that relationship? Well, what does love feel like in a relationship? How can I feel that love right now before I'm even in that relationship? What, you know, because ultimately you're the number one person who is responsible for yourself. So waiting for the outcome, the external outcome, to be there for you to feel the emotion is always a fail, because the external outcomes will always let you down, and then you'll never feel that emotion, and you're constantly going to be in that survival mode. Our job is to create this reality. It's almost like a cause and effect. If you don't have that magnetic field, you're not going to be able to draw it to you. So we have to intentionally, vibrationally get in line with ourselves each day. And like I said, when we find that we are coming into conflict, where we know that we truly desire something, and maybe we don't see the result exactly as we thought it would be, we step back and we think, okay, my mind doesn't understand everything that's happening, and it doesn't have to understand the bigger picture. And let it go, you know, give it to source, give it to, you know, I give it to God. And I'm like, I know that I don't need to understand how everything's going to pan out. And I might not even understand everything in my lifetime, but I'm going to unfold with today's events. I'm going to let go of those emotions that I'm harboring from the past, and these thoughts that I'm letting gain momentum from the past. I'm going to let go, and I'm going to replace them. And as I work through emotions, and I almost like to think it's like, I was at the beach the other day with a friend, and we were chatting, and I almost had like a realization that it's almost like when you're in with the waves, you can go up against the waves and it's super hard. Or, you know, he was like, why don't you go sideways with the waves? And I was like, this is how we should go through like emotions in life. You let the waves go and you kind of go with them, and you don't have to go upstream, you go with the water. And so working through things, and you teach your body to emotionally feel love and joy and contentment and all of that before everything that you desire truly in your heart, before it comes to pass. You're already feeling the emotions that would be attached to those things, because you truly can. And you practice being so present in the moment and not worried about what's going to happen that day or in the near future. And you're not romanticizing emotions from the past, but you're in that sweet spot of being in that like concert of life of that day. And you radiate this magnetism, pure source energy. And you generate like so much energy in the present moment. That unknown present moment, it was going to work with your body. And if you can help your body to feel safe and to relax, and, you know, to be present with this present moment, and to really be there and to enjoy life, it's like you're ready to create then. Who knows what will happen each day? If you work with your heart to practice gratitude, the practice of feeling love. I mean, and how do you do that? Look around you. There are so many things each day, even when you have really crappy days, guys. There are so many ways to reframe your thinking, to practice gratitude, love, joy, hope, that you know that things are going to work out in the end, and you don't have to control life. It's just a lovely thing. See, we've been hypnotized to expect a result before we feel an emotion, but that is not how it happens. We were born with true love, joy, peace, all of that within us. And since then, we've been given stories, we've taken on beliefs that require us to need from a lot of sources that can't give us what we feel that we need. So it's time to look back within in our own inner engineering and think, how can I help myself? And each day knowing that if I can be so excited and in love with the idea of what my heart desires in the future, but I don't have to control it. So I let go and I am so present in the moment and enjoying everything that life has to give me right now. And that intention with that elevated emotion, the biology of your body, guys, your mind changes. It's like stronger. You're stronger. You're gonna get stronger at feeling love, and then you're gonna be able to picture more of your intention of the future. And your memory. Okay, so this blows my mind. You can have a memory of the past, or you can really visualize what you want your future to be like with the desires of your heart and with your values. And when you are truly lined up, have that memory of your future. Your memory of your past and your memory of your future will have equal effects on your body, either for better or for worse. So if you stick with the memory of your future, not romanticizing it either, but knowing that you are purpose. And, if you have something set in your heart, you can move toward it each day and still live with purpose and with guidance each day to be able to be in that present moment. And you know exactly what you can practice opening your heart. And it's been scientifically proven that the more you do this, it's been measured, that your heart moves into a rhythm then. And it's like if you were in those lower vibrations. Oh, Stan, what? Let me show you sweet Stan. He's trying to talk right now. Hi, Stan, what are you saying? What? Sweet boy. If you were in those lower vibrations, the more that you open your heart, and it will move into a rhythm where it's like before energy was leaving your heart and it was used and consumed somewhere else because it was constantly in survival mode. And like I said, it was like the gas pedal and the brakes at the same time. But if you put love into the heart, the wave of energy then goes to the brain. And it's like your brain becomes energized. It changes the wave patterns, guys. It's actually really amazing. You begin to see your future more clearly, and you shed those disbeliefs that you can't do it or that it's too overwhelming, and step by step you're just led each day. And it's actually shown the alpha brain wave patterns. You're in this state of creation then all of a sudden. And I've been able to experience this feeling a few different times, and the more that you feel this, it's like, why would you want to step out of it? And you recognize when you get in these lower vibrational discs, and you also see the effects it has on other people, or if you have to be in like hermit mode and not leave and feel sorry for yourself for days. Well, what kind of impact could you have had on many people those days? However, I will say that I think being able to heal and take care of yourself is also important. So I'm not gating that. But out of default mode, the more we practice this, we're going to start just creating pictures in our head, images and dreams, because our heart is now our creative center, and we're falling in love with the future, but in such a creative way. And it's like, it's such an amazing state of being to be in each day. And you wake up. Studies have shown that the arteries in the heart and lungs are actually engorged, and you feel full, your heart feels full, and you're able to be in the present moment. You set out, and I'm telling you, if you start to pay attention, you can tell who practices this. You can feel it, because your heart sets out a magnetic field, and it's actually 3 meters wide. And instead of being in survival mode, you used to draw from this field. And before, you used to be in survival mode, drawing from this field, creating chemistry. But you've reset. You have taken the initiative to rewire and to replace these thoughts and to deal with emotions, but choose to no longer live in that familiar past. Step into the unknown of the present moment and the excitement of the potential future, and to be able to live in the here and now. And it's almost like you can reset baseline trauma, your heart is your magnet now, and it's the center of creation. And energy is frequency, guys, and it carries information. And it's like you're just constantly laying thoughts of new things coming into your life as an attraction state instead of need. That's beautiful, because when you're in a state of need, you're not attracting you're not attracting those things. And it's almost like you're preparing your brain and your body to have a healthy relationship with becoming in love with just every day. Imagine what you have to offer to anyone who comes into your presence when you're in the state of being. It's like you are so whole and in love with life that it's impossible to want from others in an unhealthy way. You just magnetize wholeness in life. When you become in union with anyone, whether it be romantically or as friendships, these exchanges are equal to emotional states. And then you catch yourself when you find that you are not vibrationally in line with people, and you know if you are in a state where you can help them, and you know that it's not negotiable anymore to step out of your alignment and to rescue people to prove your self-worth, because you're past that at this point. And you know, I've been through all of these stages, guys, and I still dance through all these stages. But see, a lot of us used to be, and some still can be, and I catch myself at times, we can use each other to reaffirm beliefs, emotional agreements, and guys, it can be for a good way or a bad way, but emotion is energy, energy is frequency, and frequency is information. So if we want to sit there and complain about our bosses, and well, that's that type of friend, I'm going to go to them for that. If we want to go talk smack about, you know, our friends and gossip, and for some reason feel like we're in control, then we might subconsciously use that friend for that, or bond. Think about the trauma bonds. That is no longer needed anymore when we magnetize this wholeness and this true love. It's like we can be there, but we don't need to rescue people or go down to that vibrational level, because we're feeling such a state of happiness and love that we want to radiate that instead of giving away our power. It's almost like this is what true love is, I feel like. It's no longer about you and what you need from a person. And this is where I know this has to come from source, because it's the only way to truly cultivate this. And you feel so amazing and so whole that when you get together, your fields interfere, but they interfere in such an outstanding way that you come together in love and you have an open heart. And imagine like what beautiful friendships can be cultivated through this type of exchange. And you give and you grow together. And it's not like you give up all your love or you overgive yourself, or, you know, it becomes where people, you know, use you. No, it's not like that. The more exchanges of energies of love that you have, and love keeps growing, your immune system will actually get stronger the more that you cultivate relationships like this, and the more awareness of your inner state. This is inner engineering, guys. This is keeping your inner sanctuary whole and full. And when I say, you know, like you are tuned in, you are tapped in, you are turned on to life. This is it. It is like you have a whole different, this is a different game. It's like you protect, you nurture, you grow, and you evolve. Love within yourself and those around you. And when you know it's not healthy, and when you know it doesn't cultivate or move someone forward, you step away in love. And you just have this intuition and awareness as to if someone maybe needs to grow by themselves, and, you know, we'll come back together later, or if we can have this, you know, growing together. And but evolving in love is the most important, and it's not out of obligation, and it is like you can't step out of it because it's just too amazing to be in that state. So I hope that this was helpful. My main goal is and actually I wrote it on my calendar here. I said, my goal is to stay in an equilibrium that allows me to be my most sovereign self. So my equilibrium is staying in this vibrational alignment with myself, to stay turned on to life, to catch myself when I am subconsciously wanting someone else on this planet, or something external that I'm looking for to make me feel fulfilled or worthy of life or love. Because guys, we have that within us, and from our source. So truly and scientifically, the more that we practice this and we engineer our innermost sanctuary, we can be a walking beacon of light and love and joy. And we can rewire our brains to actually live in this state regardless of circumstances around us. Which is why if you see, it's like, I don't know, if you go somewhere with someone and something's bothering you and you notice that the other person didn't even notice it and they're just happy as lark. This is what I'm talking about. It's like we constantly are focusing and seeing what our emotional states and our thoughts, our momentum has continued in where we've been residing vibrationally. That's what we're going to see all day. So if we're residing in this love and this joy and this peace, that's what we're going to see throughout the day. And it's also going to be the magnetic field that we give out. And with that energy that it gives out, it'll be that frequency, and that's the information that will keep coming back and forth to us. It's a beautiful thing. And beautiful relationships will be able to be cultivated, will be able to become stronger, and will come to you. I hope that this was helpful. Thank you to all my new subscribers. If you like this video, go ahead and click the like button. If you feel that anyone could benefit from this, don't forget to share. Oh, and the notifications bell will let you know when I am uploading new content. I have a goal to upload every Tuesday and Thursday, but also I want to stay true to my authentic self too. So like this week, I didn't have enough time to upload yesterday. So I am uploading authentically my best content right now, and what's really coming from my heart today. But if you have the notification bells on, it'll let you know when I post twice a week. And tomorrow I'll actually post another shuffle dance challenge. So it'll be my 4th move that I'm going to teach you for the foundational steps of shuffling, which is a great way to shift your state of energy. So I hope you guys all have a lovely week. And as we begin to find ways to shift from, well, survival mode into this elevated state of living, feel free to comment under and let me know any experiences that you're having or anything that's been working. Also, if you have any other content that you'd like me to cover, just let me know and I'll be sure to respond. All right, I hope you guys have a great week, and let's keep evolving.